We got the sleeping Ori boy here. Look at this boy. Oh my gosh, he does not care. Oh my goodness. Anyway, let me get this up here. So it is a new week. Today is Sunday, the 16th or something like that. I don't know. And I just got done reading the chapter called Jean Valjean. And holy crap, his life is super sad. Like, we know in the musical that he's sent to prison or hard labor, however you want to say it, for stealing a loaf of bread for his sister's children. Well, his sister has 7 children. So that's all still the same. He steals a loaf of bread and everything. He breaks a window at a bakery, literally just sticks his arm through the window to grab the bread kind of thing. Baker catches him, but this is never said in the musical or anything, because I mean, you're always just like, holy crap, how'd he get that much time for like a loaf of bread? Well, he also had a shotgun on him, so that kind of made things worse. So initially he's sentenced to 5 years, but then he keeps trying to escape, so it ends up being 19 years altogether. But just his life before all of that happens is like super sad. I mean, we always know him as like a tragic character, but damn. So his dad is actually also named Jean Valjean, so not really original there, but I know that was a common thing to do. So as of right now, I'm on page 96, but I'm actually going to read a few lines from this Jean Valjean chapter. But basically, like, his younger life, his parents die when he's still a child, and his sister, who is older, takes him in, but her husband ends up dying. So he essentially, at the age of like 22 or something, takes over like the head of the household role and is like the provider, father, everything for the children. So that's why he ends up being the one that like tries to steal food. But like, he's always been doing like hard labor his entire life. So like, he's never had a girlfriend or like significant other or anything. He's never really done anything besides just work. So the first line I'm gonna read is, he was no longer Jean Valjean, but number 24601. So that's obviously a really famous line. I like have always I memorized this number as a child, and I've used it for stuff and whatever, just because I don't know, it's just so iconic. And while I was reading this chapter, I was also wondering, I was like, we don't really find out what happened to his family in the musical, so I wonder if it's going to say in the book. But then I came across this. He heard no more of them. He was destined never to see them again, and there will be no further mention of them in this tale. And it's just like, damn! Holy crap! So, pretty much his family, like, we don't know what happened. They're just gone, whatever. There's like a tiny little update that he found out in the 4th year, but it was only about like his sister and one of the kids and not the other 6. So like, I guess that's it. And I don't know, I just find that just crazy and interesting and like, holy crap, it's just brutal. It's just brutal. So right now I'm on chapter 7 of this book 2, and it's called The Inwardness of Despair. So this is also probably going to be a depressing chapter, which I mean, the whole book is going to be depressing, to be honest. But man, I was wanting to see other characters, and I got it. Hello, today is Tuesday. I literally almost said Thursday, and yeah, they both start with C, I guess. So, cats are going crazy outside. Yeah. It's actually a pretty nice sunny day out here, but it's not exactly the warmest. But anyway, I am actually getting ready to take my Viola to a music shop because it's not doing good. When I came back here from having to go to the US in November, I was finally able to bring my Viola with me, but unfortunately it got damaged in transit. Nothing that can't be fixed, like no like permanent kind of damage, but I still need to take it to an atelier, I think it's called, to get it back to working speed. But in the book, talk about that a bit, we're still mainly just talking about Jean Valjean and his past, we're not really doing anything that's like current. So it's mainly just talking about how he was a good man and has potentially been turned into like an evil man from being in prison, and how it's like hardened his heart and soul and things like that, and how he's not like a godly man anymore and things. So I'm actually kind of interested to see how much like the musical has changed Jean Valjean's character compared to the book. So that's been interesting, because so far, like, what they've been talking about with him, he definitely seems different than the musical portrays. So that's one thing I'm going to be keeping an eye out for, are the differences in how he's portrayed. But yeah, getting ready to head out to the shop. I've never been there before. I guess it's like a road that's just all like music shops and stuff. And fingers crossed everything goes well and I can communicate well. But yeah, I'm gonna show what my viola looks like at the moment. So this is what my viola looks like. It's obviously missing something here. This is where the bridge goes that the strings lay across, and there's also something inside called a sound post, and it's in there. It's just not set up. It's like just rolling around in there. So I need to get the bridge put back on, which I do have. I don't know. Is this the... Yeah. So that needs to get put back on. And they need to fix the sound post, and cats are running around going crazy. But yeah, I haven't really touched this in 10 years, so I'm really looking forward to like taking lessons and potentially one day being in an orchestra again. But this is a viola, not a violin. And of course he has to investigate. No, we're not gonna step. No step. Just got home. I wasn't really able to like film much on the way there because I had my backpack and my viola and everything. Plus there was also people in the store. But my viola is fixed. Look it. It's back to being an actual instrument again. And it's not really tuned right now, but like... Oh god, it sounds horrible, yeah. And I have now discovered that Ori does not like the sounds of the viola. But I'm really happy, looking forward to basically being comfortable with this instrument again, because I haven't played in a decade, but being in an orchestra again would be fantastic. It is Wednesday evening. You can see it's black outside. I don't have like the blinds or whatever you want to call them down yet. I keep thinking it's Thursday though. I did say it was Wednesday, right? Anyway, it's Wednesday and I just read my chapter for the day in Les Miserables. Gotten to the point where he steals the priest's silver and heads out into the night. So I already knew about that, but I don't think it's particularly in the musical. Maybe it was in the movie. I don't know. But that's where I'm at. So I'm still in familiar territory. There's actually a chapter in here that I would like to read aloud. It is a small chapter. Definitely not going to read a lot. And I feel like it really is good at giving the vibe of what this book and story is. It's not about like any of the characters like in particular, but just, I don't know. I just thought it was a pretty amazing chapter. So I'm going to read it right now. It's chapter 8 of book 2. It's called Sea and Shadow. So, move my hair out of my way. Okay. Man overboard, but the ship does not stop. The wind is blowing and the doom-laden vessel is set on a course from which it cannot depart. It sails on. The man sinks and reappears, flings up his arms and shouts, but no one hears. The ship, heeling in the wind, is intent upon its business, and passengers and crew have lost sight of him, a pinpoint in the immensity of the sea. He calls despairingly, gazing in anguish after the receding sail, as ghost-like it fades from view. A short time ago he was on board, a member of the crew busy on deck with the rest, a living being with his share of air and sunlight. What has become of him now? He slipped and fell, and this is the end. He is adrift in the monstrous waters with only their turbulence beneath him, hideously enclosed by wave crests shredded by the wind, smothered as they break over his head, tumbled from one to another, rising and sinking into unfathomable darkness where he seems to become a part of the abyss, his mouth filled with bitter resentment as at this treacherous ocean that is so resolved to destroy him, this monster toying with his death. To him, the sea has become the embodiment of hatred. But he goes on swimming, still struggles despairingly for life, his strength dwindling as he battles against the inexhaustible. Above him, he can see only the bleak pallor of the clouds. He is the witness in his death throes of the immeasurable dementia of the sea, and tormented by this madness, he hears sounds unknown to man that seem to come from some dreadful place beyond the bounds of earth. There are birds flying amid the clouds as angels soar over the distresses of mankind, but what can they do for him? They sing... They sing as they glide and hover, while he gasps for life. He is lost between the infinities of sea and sky, the one a tomb, the other a shroud. Darkness is falling. He has swum for hours until his strength is at an end, and the ship with its company of men has long since passed from sight. Solitary in the huge gulf of twilight, he twists and turns, feeling the waves of the unknowable close in upon him. And for the last time he calls, but not to man. Where is God? He calls to anyone or anything. He calls and calls, but there is no reply. Nothing on the face of the waters, nothing in the heavens. He calls to the sea and the spray, but they are deaf. He calls to the winds, but they are answerable only to infinity. Around him dusk and solitude, the heedless tumult of wild waters. Within him terror and exhaustion. Below him the descent into nothingness. No foothold. He pictures his body adrift in that limitless dark. The chill numbs him. His hands open and close, clutching at nothing. Wind and tumult and useless stars. What can he do? Despair ends in resignation. Despair ends in resignation. Exhaustion chooses death, and so at length he gives up the struggle, and his body sinks forever. Such is the remorseless progression of human society, shedding lives and souls as it goes on its way. It is an ocean into which men sink who have been cast out by the law and consigned, with help most cruelly withheld, to moral death. The sea is the pitiless social darkness into which the penal system casts those it has condemned, an unfathomable waste of misery. The human soul, lost in those depths, may become a corpse. Who shall revive it? And that is one of the chapters that I think is pretty amazing. Like, I don't know, just the way it's written and everything. Like, that could be like a short story in its own. But yeah, that's pretty much it for now. And I will find out Valjean's fate after stealing the silver tomorrow. So it is Friday evening. It's about 8:30, so that's why it's so dark and we have these stupid light beams coming in. I'm in my pajamas and everything, like already took a shower, all of that. It's time to relax. But also, it is the end of the week because tomorrow we will be gone most of the day at D&D. So once again, I figure I'll end the week here. And also, Pikachu is eating his bridge in the background. I can't make him stop chewing on the freaking wood. So if you hear that a lot, it's him. But Les Miserables. So tomorrow I will actually be starting book 3, which is, I think it's just called In 1817 or something like that. Yeah, in the year 1817, which will be a 2-year time skip from where we were, because I actually had to double back to check, and we were in October 1815. So I'm not sure which month we'll be in here, but it'll be about 2-year time skip, and pretty much the last few chapters of this book 2 was just really kind of a deep dive into Jean Valjean's psyche and just how messed up he is right now. And now Appa is barking. Can we not? There's no danger. Apparently Appa does not like Jean Valjean. Which, to be fair, Jean Valjean was a dick to a kid in here. He stole his money. But then he ended up regretting it. But still, like, Victor Hugo does a really good job of showing... Yeah, I'm just gonna talk over that. But yeah, Victor Hugo does a good job of really describing well, giving a really good picture of Jean Valjean's, like, inner turmoil over everything that's happened to him and how he's now treating other people and how they're treating him, and, like, his encounter with this bishop just has completely messed him up. And so, yeah. So he's kind of having, like, this huge revelation and stuff So I'm really interested to see how that changes his character, because like I said, he can be a dick. So I'm looking forward to see how kind of his character development goes from there. And yeah, I guess I'm just gonna end it there since the chinchillas just don't seem to want to let me film. But yeah, looking forward to other characters being introduced. I am assuming that this time skip will be where he is like the owner of that factory or whatever it is that they show in like the movie, but we will find out tomorrow. But as always, thank you for hanging out with me while I'm going on this journey and while the chinchillas bark at danger, apparently. I don't know, maybe this is a dangerous book. Who knows? And until next week, bonne journée and au revoir, and let Appa serenade you on the way out.